with Artist Unknown, an introspective web series that portrays the artists of Toronto. We're here at the TCAF, which is the Toronto Comics Artists Festival 2015 at the Toronto Reference Library. The turnout is like thousands of people here. It's amazing. So let's go in and interview some of the people, the amazing artists that are here today. And also Matthew Brown is here, and he currently is on the latest episode of Artist Unknown. Let's go check it out. We're right here at the table with one of the artists, Robert Gooden, and he was so kind to let us have our gear here next to him. And we're looking at his humongous pages. And we just wondered if we could ask you a few questions, Robert.
Sure.
Well, one of the questions of the day was, what is the role of the artist in society today?
I would say that it's something that I have to get out of. I work, my day job is in animation, where I am told what to draw and what style to draw, how to draw it. So being able to do my own comics with my own story and my own style is I just have to do it. I would go crazy.
And what is the name of your graphic novel, is it?
Yeah, it's called The Kernels.
Roughly, what is the story about?
It sounds rather silly. It's about a bear that gets discarded by a bratty child. She comes to life. She finds sort of a new home amongst some eccentric characters, and their house catches a disease that makes it grow fur. So she helps them find a cure for their home, and then she decides to stay there.
Sounds like a healing process.
I'm a publicist, so I promote all the comic books that Fantagraphics releases. And we're based out of Seattle, Washington, and we put out about 100 books a year.
So you would be a good person to ask, what is the role of the artist in society today?
Well, I think that the role of the artist in society today would be that they reflect on what's going on and how people are in humanity, and they give that reflection to the world.
So what books are you actually promoting?
Well, our debut books of the show are Phantom Bukowski by Noah Van Scriver, Lovable Oath by Ed Luce, and Black River by Josh Simmons.
And so how are the sales going?
Incredible. TCAF is a wonderful show. Toronto's a great city.
And do you sell through other venues in the city?
Yes, we have our books at almost every major bookstore, but I recommend the XYLE.
Fair enough. Thanks meeting you, and I wish you the best.
Thanks so much.
And thanks for working with all the artists.
Lot in life.
Hi, I'm with Artist Unknown, an introspective web series that delves into the lives of the not yet renowned artists of Toronto. We basically promote the artists that are not famous yet. But the motto of the show is that every artist is famous within their own right. So we're here at the TCAF 2015. I was wondering, what brings you here?
I'm an amateur illustrator myself, and I'm really interested in the comics community, especially in Canada, but also internationally, of course. And this is, I live a couple hours away, and it was just a fantastic opportunity as an artist to come and check out TCAF and get inspiration and meet lots of lovely people and see some panels.
So you illustrate what, comics or graphic novels?
It's a lot of just kind of free illustration. I don't write as much these days, but ideally I'd like to start either pairing up with a writer or writing my own small comics, publishing in zines and stuff. Maybe it'll probably be a while off before I approach actual publishing, but yeah.
Well, Artist Unknown just finished portraying Matthew Brown. I don't know if you've heard of him.
I haven't, no.
He just launched his book. He's launching his fourth book, actually. It's called The Cliff, and it's called The Heart of Brightness. I think he's up on the upper level. He's at the editions trip table. But anyways, you're hopefully going to end up making your own comics one day.
Hopefully, yeah. But it's a lot of work, and that's the biggest sort of impediment, is just committing to that much work and putting the time into it, but hopefully I can get there, yeah.
So do you have a title that you go by?
Not yet, no, I'm working on that, but so it's still early in development.
So what is your name?
Akiva
Court. Well, thanks for giving some of your time, and I hope you enjoy the show, and I hope you check out Artist Unknown channel.
Absolutely, I think I will, yeah. Well, have a lovely day. Yeah, thanks.
And we're here with Simon Morton and Cody. Now, both of you are graphic novelists, or you consider yourself comic artists?
I'd say cartoonist. Yeah, cartoonist. Zine maker.
Cartoonist.
And how long have you been in the scene?
I think about 7 or 8 years now I've been making comics.
Same.
And the question of the day today was, what is the role of the artist in society today?
Oh wow, that's a big one to spring with me.
That's what we asked him.
Well, the way that I think about it is that I think it's about encouraging people to make stuff. Whatever it is, whether it's comics or drawings or paintings, whatever, I think the artist is about encouraging everybody to try and find their own voice.
Artists are, they're an indicator species. Kind of like frogs. You know, they really do show what's happening in the environment. If something's bad, they mutate.
So you would tend to believe that artists change the world as opposed to politicians?
It's a little bit of both. There's not a lot of power to actually change things, like actively, but you can influence with art. That's how I see it.
So tell me a little bit about your graphic novels or your material.
My book that I make is Reptile Museum, and it's about the future. It's kind of like on the path that we're headed right now. What I imagine how things might turn out. It's sort of like me dealing with my fears of today. So simple as that.
Sounds like you have a large insight on the world.
A little bit. I read.
And Simon, what about you? What is your medium and what is your story on your art form?
So I make a zine called Smooth, which is mostly autobiographical. It's kind of at the intersection between sort of minimal drawing, comics, and poetry, and kind of it's about memory really, and like how we respond to our everyday lives and how you can like make a record of it through drawing.
Very cool. Well, thanks for your time. It's been a pleasure interviewing, and I wish you creative genius in the many years yet to come.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This is your table with your art form. What exactly is your name and your art form?
My name is The Challenge. I'm a comic artist and a writer.
What is your storyline, or what is it that you try to portray in your work?
I'm interested in sort of portraying mythology and history and kind of contemporary culture and how those all intersect.
So it's kind of like a voyeuristic, kind of futuristic, like impression on the world?
Could be that sometimes, yeah. I'd be alright with that description.
So the question that I always ask artists is, what is the role of the artist in society today?
I think it differs from person to person. Some people are interested in targeting the larger public and working towards a greater good, and I think some people work more visually, and that's okay too.
What would you recommend to other fellow artists in this genre of artwork?
Work hard, prepare for a lot of nights with no sleep.
So it's a passion.
Yeah.
So what is it that drives you?
I think events like this, when you get to interact with other artists, meet people from all over the world, and sort of get your message across to all new groups of people. I work in teaching too, so I'm always interested in exposing new people to comics and art literacy.
So is it become a lucrative thing for you?
It's starting to be, for sure, yeah.
So you have to believe.
You have to believe, and you have to work really hard.
I agree. Well, it's a pleasure talking to you, and I wish you creative genius and the many creative endeavors you have yet to do in your life. And I wish you the best.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, I'm Patrick Kyle.
And what is your art form?
I'm a cartoonist and illustrator, LA here in Toronto. You're in the Wowie Song Small Press room right now. It's a room that I curate with Jeanette LaPalme and Chris Guzma. So every exhibitor here is like a small press person. There's lots of handmade goods. Lots of musograph, screen printing. It's a little different than the rest of the show.
So this is kind of more like a zine scene?
Yeah, it's like a artist multiples zine section. Yeah, I do it I do it. It's part of my living. I do it. I work as an illustrator. It's my livelihood. But comics and making books is just something I have to do. It's like just an embrace. I have a lot of fun doing it, and luckily I'm able to make a living doing it as well.
So you illustrate for a public issue or a book?
Yeah. I work for like magazines and newspapers. Yeah.
Well, it's been a pleasure meeting you and talking to you, and thanks for your time, and I wish you creative genius in the many years yet to come.
Thanks very much.
And what was your name?
Lauren.
And is that the name that you go under for your artwork?
Yeah, here's my business card here. I guess I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, you can just say your name. And how long have you been creating this work?
Like 7 years maybe?
And what is your art form? What is it that you kind of cover? Like what is it that you do?
I'm a photographer and I've been doing a lot of screen printing also lately.
So we have the question of the day today. Are you ready?
Yeah.
What is the role of the artist in society today?
Sharing their own voice, I would say. Sharing their story.
Great. Thanks for your time, and I wish you creative genius in the many creative projects yet to come in your life.
Thank you. Thanks. Have a good day.
Thank you. Hi, I'm with Artist Unknown, an introspective web series that delves into the lives of not yet renowned artists of Toronto. I know you're both from Montreal.
Yes, we are.
We've come a long way, and we're here at the TCAP, the Toronto Comics Artists Festival. You come every year,
Yeah, we do come every year. It's really an amazing festival here, so we try to come every year.
And we just currently did an episode on Matthew Brown, which is launching book 4 of The Cliff. And I know that you were instrumental in helping Matthew start out in his early days, and you're in the interview. And it's a pleasure to meet you, Mark Tessier.
Thank you. Well, I always like Matthew. I think he sent me stuff like in 1990 or something. And then, I love this guy. So I said, yeah, I'll send him a script. You want to work? And then he said, yeah. That's good. That's a Matthew Brown emergency signal. There's somebody needs spiritual guidance.
We're publishers, but both of us are artists also. So that's one of the reasons why we appreciate Matthew. He's an amazing artist and an amazing person. But our role and his production is where it's published.
So you help artists get their work out.
Yeah.
Well, we love books, and there's so many great artists, and sometimes we like to publish more experimental, different, experimental, avant-garde, like spiritual stuff that might not seem that commercial. And but amazing, like Matthew Brown, he writes amazing stories. Like he's an amazing writer, and no one knows him. So that's why all these people, we find them and say, let's publish. So that's what we do. But we do have a production as artists ourselves. Like Stanley has a book for TCAF, and I just put out a book of portraits of comic book people. So I do photography also and a bunch of other things.
That's very admirable. I'm glad to have met you, because promoting the artist is what we do also. So the question of the day with the Artist Unknown is, what is the role of the artist in society today?
Oh my God.
That's a great question.
Stanley has answered that.
Everybody stumps moved by it, but that's why I asked that question, because it makes you think, and it's kind of like on the moment, and you have to come out with something that's sincere, right?
So that's what this book is all about. I think nowadays, I don't know if you know that there's that cool artist from the 70s. His name is Fela Kuti. He's like this African dude. He does like beats. And he was saying in one of his songs that an artist is a reflection of his time, right? So if everything's going great and whatever, the artist, he can concentrate on art and not really mind about society too much. But when the society is contrary to art, goes in the other way of what art is supposed to be, it's the role of the artist to kind of bring back everything, at a point where everything balances. I mean, right now anyway, that's my personal opinion anyway. It's hard for an artist to just make simply entertainment. I think you gotta get people to think.
So that's considerable. And Mark, now you have the edge because you had a bit of time to think about the question.
Okay, well, it's been a busy one. So, the role of the artist, eh? Well, I always like Stanley said, I think an artist is in French, an entonnoir. It's like a filter. You absorb everything. You're like very sensitive. You're talking to people most of the time, and then you produce something that you digest everything, and then you meditate. And the art is something that talks about what is now, but from a standpoint that it's been just sitting inside. So it's something that's been thought out and thoughtful, like a wisdom, like it's sort of art as wisdom, and it show people, like make them think, make them react. But I don't know, in this climate where everything's about money, well, sometimes for me art is not about money. It's more like a personal investment in society and humanity and the people around us. So that's why, and for me art has always been important because art opens the eyes and it opens a lot of other things, makes people think. So I find it doubly important now that the place of artists is, for me, you can entertain, that's part of it, but that's not the main thing. The main thing is like to make people discover other things and discover themselves through the art. That's good.
Well, it's been a pleasure, and thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And we'll see if we can catch up to Matthew Brown, and enjoy your stay here in Toronto.
All right, thank you.
So we're here at the TCAF, and we're with
Jason Liu, the creator behind Pitiful Human Lizard, which is Toronto's newest superhero.
So you come every year to the TCAF?
Yeah, either as an attendee or as a guest, like this year.
So how are you doing this as far as your sales? Is it grown, or what inspires you to do what you do?
Well, it's been a fantastic day so far. I've done the Pitiful Human Lizard for about a year. Like exactly a year ago was when it came out of production from a Kickstarter campaign, and by then, like last year, I was like handing out copies of my comic to the backers that were here at TCAF. But now I'm here. I'm behind a table, and I just debuted issue number 4 of the series, and yeah, things are feeling pretty good. Especially getting some immediate feedback, which helps motivate me to pump out more issues.
So we usually have the question of the day, and the question of the day is, what is the role of the artist in society today?
What is the role of the artist in society today?
I know it's a bit of a stumper, but that's what we do. We want a bit of, you reflecting within and kind of on the moment, on the second, come up with what you think.
Well, I consider myself more of a cartoonist or like a storyteller through the comic book medium. So, through my comics, I'm trying to aspire people, especially with a very relatable character that I have, who's very grounded, who's a pathetic superhero, but he's a character that's very hopeful, and hopefully, new fans who read my comic can can find him, can find some promise in this character and relate to him and see that there's hope in their life just by reflecting on his story. Does that make sense? I hope so.
No, it makes perfect sense. And you know what? That's a good concept. It's actually somebody believing in something and to see how far it takes them, what it brings to society. So it's been nice that you had some time and let us enter your world, and I wish you all the best creative genius in the many years to come. It's awesome stuff. Looks really well done. You're an awesome illustrator.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks for interviewing me.
The motto of the show is every artist is famous within their own right. We're here at the TCAP, and we just happened to notice something, which is your hair. So I was wondering, who are you and what brought you here to TCAP?
I'm Tom Bosco, and I live right outside of Chicago. One of my friends just got really into a lot of independent publishers and collecting a ton of books. And he asked me, he's like, hey, you want to go to this festival? And I said, sure. And I was like, where is it? And he said, Canada, and I've never been to Canada before. So of course, we hopped in my car, 10 hours later, here we are. So it's been super fun so far.
So was the hair like that right from day one when you left, or?
Yeah, actually, I've slept on it and just bounces right back. So it's been up for 8 years. Obviously, comes down every now and then, but
that's amazing. How do you get it to stay up like that?
Just a little bit of hairspray. That's all you need.
A lot of hairspray. Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. Are you kind of fathomed after some character, or?
You know, I don't know. It might have been something, 10 years ago, little doodles in my sketchbook that transpired into something once I got older and figured out I could do it in real life. So I'd like to think it has to do with that.
So the question of the day today is, what is the role of the artist in society today?
Oh my gosh, it's deep.
That's why we ask it.
Yeah.
Make people think. But we like to hit you with that one. Because,
sure.
It's like what comes out at the moment, right?
Yeah, I think perspective is a huge thing, actually. And the nice thing about art is it's a really fun way to show perspective. And you can take very serious issues and you can put a smile on them. And they're a lot easier to take in rather than turning on the news and you're seeing, all these just blood, basically. But then you can open up a book and you can have a little smile about a serious issue and be informed about it in a completely different way, in a positive way.
Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you, and I wish you all the best, and enjoy your time here in Toronto, and give my regard to the Windy City.
Absolutely, yeah. Thanks a lot for pulling me aside.
And we're walking around, and we just happened to bump into who else but Matthew Brown. We just portrayed him in an episode, and it's good to see you.
Good to
How's
see
it going,
you too.
Matthew?
I'm great. It's going well.
So you're not at your table. What brings you to this lineup?
Well, Charles Burns is a great writer and artist whose work I started reading many years ago in Raw magazine, and it was creepy then, and now it's not only creepy and exquisitely drawn, but he's exploring a lot of themes that intertwine the dark side of the human psyche with the difficulty of emotional relationship, and I think it's really exciting, and I'm excited, and I'm going to give him a copy of my latest graphic novel. Yes, Charles Burns.
So maybe we can go and interview him then. We'll see if he's open for an interview, and he's kind of like the big name here.
He's one of many big names.
Besides yourself, of course.
I have a name, and I'm big, especially as I get older. I hesitate to call myself a big name.
Well, you have that covered well.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, I'll take a picture of you. Look at me. Yeah.
There he is, Mark Tessier.
Hold your book up.
You can blame Mark Tessier for the fact that I still do comics 25 years after meeting him.
Stop talking. Smile.
Stop talking?
Good, thanks.
He's got a hook on you. He knew that you were, from the beginning, worthy of all that good art.
He did.
Yeah. Lots of insight.
I owe him a tremendous debt of gratitude.
So it was nice to see you here, and I hope you enjoyed the episode. It's out live today, and all you have to do is put in on YouTube and put in the clip, episode 2, and you'll come up.
Thank you. I can't wait to hear the soundtrack, especially that XYLE did from Peterborough.
Yeah, I hope you enjoy the whole style of the interview. We kind of made it like a comic book thing, and I think it rolled really well.
Can't wait.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
I'll see you next time.
À la prochaine.